He's Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson. This is not another shooting show. We go to Highland Park, Illinois, where a man was transported to the hospital after he accidentally shot himself in the hand as he prepared to clean his gun inside his home.
Cleaning strikes again.
Mm-hmm. At least he said he did it while preparing to. You know,
Yeah.
I was just cleaning it and it just went off. Highland Park Fire Department and Highland Park Police responded around 9:12 a.m. on December 28th to the report of a person who was shot. A 911 caller reported a man was cleaning a gun and the gun discharged, striking him in the hand. Officers arrived and ensured the scene was secure before paramedics moved up to the home to transport the victim to the hospital. Highland Park Communications Manager Amanda Bennett refused to release information on the incident on December 30th in a request from Lake and McHenry County Scanner. Due to privacy laws, blah, blah, blah. We're not telling you. Anyway, but they did get a Freedom of Information Act request on Thursday. So he was cleaning a Glock 42 in his bedroom and was cleaning the gun in preparation for going to the range later that morning to practice with a relative. The victim had removed the magazine and began to remove the slide when the firearm discharged. Well, sir, this is how a Glock works.
Yes, the Glock takedown that every other company was like, hey, this is a bad idea.
You'll shoot your hand off.
Right. Well, let's create a system where you don't have to pull the trigger to get the slide off.
But guess how I still do it with my M&Ps? I pull the trigger. Do you pull the trigger on your M&Ps, or do you find a fucking punch and reach down and flip that little dumb lever?
Technically, you could use the pin that holds the grip in, but I pull the trigger.
Yeah, exactly. Because just make sure it's unloaded before you do it, dummy.
But that'll take like 7 seconds.
It takes less time to make sure it's unloaded than it does to get the stupid thing out of the bottom of your M&P to move the lever. Anyway, the victim... the bullet exited the top of his hand. He immediately told his wife to call the fire department. Wife told officers downstairs that she heard a loud noise from their bedroom and was advised by her husband that the gun had gone off and he was injured. Yeah. She began to render aid till the fire department arrived. The gun and the casing were found in a laundry basket in the master bedroom closet. The 6-round magazine was found on the bedroom floor. The report did not indicate any suspicious circumstances around the shooting, other than really shitty gun handling.
How are you? This might be the cheap side of me, but how the hell are you calling the fire department for a hand wound?
I think he was hoping he could avoid police involvement, like afraid a crime might be involved. But
I guess for the $40,000 he's going to get charged to get driven to the hospital.
Yeah. Well, so this story is very similar to when my dad shot himself back in, I think it was 2019. He just finished doing something with his M&P shield, and the takedown lever on an M&P, it swings down. Well, he had put the slide back on, racked it, and he had put the mag in because he was going to reholster it. It's his carry gun. And, the takedown lever's still down. I'll fix that, but I'm too lazy to lock it back and do it properly. And I forgot I've already put a magazine in it, is basically what I think happened. He didn't really remember because, traumatic event. He doesn't really remember or didn't really remember anything.
Right.
But that's pretty much, and I found the pistol. Mom asked me to go down to the house and make sure the gun is fine. Well, it was still hot, sitting on his reloading bench in the basement with the takedown lever in the down position. And
props on it. It's staying together. What the?
And the magazine was missing 2 rounds, the one that was in the chamber and the one that had been fired. So
no, I'm trying.
Yeah. Here was the most interesting thing. This is a little macabre, but so there's blood all over the floor in my dad's reloading room after this, but it wasn't from the gunshot. There was almost nothing from the gunshot. There wasn't this big pink mist all over his workbench that was right next to where it happened. I found the hole where the bullet went in the back of a bookshelf against the wall. And the bullet hit the cinder block and just disintegrated over there. But all the blood that was on the ground came from after the shot, and it's just like running out of blood vessels onto the ground, and it went all the way up the stairs and all the way out to the car, and Mom threw him in the van, and off to Sioux Falls they went to get to the emergency room.
Yep.
So they didn't fuck around waiting for, the volunteer EMTs in Beersford to get called, show up, go there, like, we'll be 3/4 of the way to Sioux Falls by the time they fucking get here. So
Yep.
wrapped his hand up in towels, and off they went. And, yeah, so anyway, well, speaking of Glocks, it was a good week for me. It was a real good week. I had told my buddy Matt, I think he's the handgun manager at the local Shields here, and I told him, hey, when you get a Gen 6 17, I want it. I'll come buy it. And so I think it was Monday or Tuesday, he sent me a text, hey, we got some 17s coming in. You still want one? I said, yep. All right, I'll put your name on one. And then he called me, or he texted me like 2 days later. I think it was on Wednesday. Hey, I got one. Okay. It's my son's birthday, though, so I can't make it today. But I went down the next day and got it.
Nice.
So, you don't own a Glock, do you?
Nope.
And you're not nearly as curious as lots of other people are about it, are you?
Not even in the least. No.
Yeah. Okay.
To me, it looks like Glock has finally caught up to 2006.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't into shooting back then, but they have certainly caught up to 2017. What people were doing with Glocks.
Right.
So the first thing everybody talks about with it is the palm swell. Oh my God, the palm swell. The palm swell and the texture are the two things that everybody who's texted me or messaged me about it, those are the two things they want to know about.
Yes, because the M&P doesn't exist.
Now, here's the thing, though. Glock did the texture better than the M&P.
Yep.
I think for two reasons. One, it goes all the way up. Like, the texture's actually in places you want it to be. Like, the entire side of the pistol is now texturized. All the way up, even to the little shelfy dip thing.
Yeah.
Which,
They make a little ledge, for
I think
thumb.
I think I heard Tom talking about that on the Paracast. I think it's an import thing. It has to be there legally.
Oh.
Like, and I think it was Tom that I heard say it. It's really the only other shooting podcast I listen to anymore, so it must have been. Yeah, it has something to do with import. It might have been a YouTube video I saw. I don't recall. But yeah, it isn't that shelf is still there, but it doesn't have that weird little shelf with it. It's just sort of rounded off. The texture it's not as rough as the M&P, but my M&P Shield, when I carry that with certain shirts, it sticks to it.
Yes.
Because it's so grippy. And it's so fine grippy. Now, it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying there are certain shirts I can't wear with it. This is not that prickly. The texture is less fine, but it is sharper.
Okay.
My hands are out of shape for shooting. I actually shot about 250, 300 rounds yesterday. With a stock Glock grip. This is the first time ever a stock Glock grip made my hands turn red and get raw.
Interesting.
Yeah. Now, granted, that started happening when I started shooting the gold dots, but it was actually rough enough to make my hands turn red and get raw and be like, I'm not having fun with this anymore. So the texture is fantastic. If I shoot this in competition, am I going to still wrap it up in skateboard tape? Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Because once my hands are back in shape, I think I start getting it all gunky and dirty and leave a bunch of skin cells and DNA and gunk and shit. I don't think it'll be rough enough anymore.
Right.
Especially on a really hot day when my hands are sweating. So skateboard tape will go on it. The palm swell is super interesting. So when I first picked it up, just right out of the box, I was like, it feels smaller. The grip feels like thinner in some way.
Okay.
It shocked me because the palm swell, like it's fatter. It's clearly fatter. Like the entire frame is fatter. It's wider. It does still fit in every holster I have though. So it isn't that much fatter, but I held up my 34, or pardon me, my 19 and my new Gen 6 17. The 19 is a Gen 5. And the frame up just below the slide is a little bit wider, a little bit thicker. But the palm swell it's great. It does like just fit in your hand better. I don't have enormous hands. I don't have small hands. I got kind of big palms and not super long fingers. So Gen 4 and 5 Glocks, I never put a backstrap on. I experimented with it, but I never used them long term. Yeah. With this, it was just like, it feels too small. And I put a medium backstrap on it, and it feels perfect. So when you get if you're used to shooting Gen 4 and 5 and you get a 6, I'd love to hear what you think. Everybody's hands are different, so some people might not notice at all. I did. But yeah, the texture and the palm swell is fantastic. The little shelfie thing is not a big thing. I did kind of experiment with just like resting my thumb there, and I don't know, I didn't hate it. It was fine. I was worried about the takedown lever being pokey, just because it's kind of sticking out a little more, but it was fine. The optic mount, it's not as low as you would like, but it's lower than the old one. So,
okay, and so you can better co-witness your irons.
I guess if that's what you want, but mostly just so that it's closer to the barrel. Like, I love that my CZs that Vince milled or drink are all like they ride much lower, closer to the barrel. I like that. It's you're not quite so high with height over bore. Which is kind of comical when you're using an SRO or 507 comp. But yeah, it's a little bit lower. My buddy Mike was texting me about it because he just got one as well, and he shot his last Monday, and there was a dude there with a 47 at the little indoor match, and the difference in height was just enough to slip a business card in, I guess, according to him. So it's lower. It's not a lot lower. The mounting is simpler because you just snap in the little plastic plate that adapts with bosses into the bottom of the optic, and then the screws go right through the optic into the slide. So it is sort of direct.
Yep.
So that's cool.
So the plates are plastic, right?
Yeah. They snap in snug, though. They don't really move around much once they're snapped in.
Do you think that will be a wear point or like a thing? Because I know the plate systems are always the biggest issue with modern optic-ready guns. Do you think that metal plates would have been better?
I don't think so, because it's really just sort of the buffer that's also hanging onto the optic. And that plate, when you snap that plastic plate in, it's basically flush to the rest of the slide there. Like, most of the slide is flush up against the optic, except for the little sort of hourglass shape of plastic that goes under it. Otherwise, the rest of it is it's on the metal of the slide. So, I mean, time will tell. I don't know. I don't think so, because it's that plastic plate is getting more of a bite. It's deep. It's set deeper into the slide than the old MOS plates was.
Right.
There was some metal, like grabbing metal, but it wasn't a hell of a lot. So,
okay. I guess the other big change that I'm aware of is they improved the trigger. What are your thoughts on it?
I'll call it a sort of flat face trigger, because it comes down and then it has a straight angle out. And honestly, I probably shot 100 rounds before I noticed, oh, that's right, it's got a different trigger. I didn't notice the difference because the shape of it on the front is not totally flat. It's still got a rounded, a little bit of a belt, not Yeah, I guess you'd call it more of a bevel than a rounding. But, and I don't know, can a bevel be round? Sure, why not? But, yeah, it's different. Like I said, I didn't really notice it. It still felt like a stock Gen 5 trigger. You know?
Okay.
It was fine.
Yeah.
They did add a little plastic around the slide stop. So it's harder to accidentally activate it.
Okay.
So if your grip accidentally bumps the slide stop up, it's guarded a little more.
Interesting.
But no, the trigger's fine. The beaver tail, I didn't notice it at all. I haven't drawn it from a holster really yet, not with a belt that was on me.
That was going to be the biggest one, or that's the biggest complaint I've been seeing is mainly dudes who scoop draw are complaining about it.
Well, I've been scoop drawing CZs for the last 2 years, so I'm not going to worry about it. It's going to be fine.
Right.
It's only sticking out the back like not even a half inch.
Yeah.
Like it's a beaver tail, but it's not like you got a fucking tack sport beaver tail sticking way the hell back.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think I'm gonna have I'll have to reach around a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it.
And you're an expert at reaching around.
I am. Yes. Giggity.
So, speaking of the butt plug.
Butt plug. That was the thing I added to the list of things. And this, everybody can thank Mike for, because he had the brass butt plug in the thing to add weight to the back, and also plug that little notch in the rear that you can very easily hook magazines on. Some people just put a plastic one in there, and it solves the problem of catching mags on it. But the Gen 5 compatible plugs do not fit in this. He had to do a lot of filing and actually took off about... He's such a nerd. I think he said it was 0.2 ounces of weight that it took off.
What is that in grams?
Oh, I don't know. But anyway, so it was, it took. If you have the brass plugs in it and you're going to swap them over, you're going to have to do a little filing. He and I, though, texting, we had a long text conversation today. He was of the opinion, and I agree, it's not worth going into debt to get one of these. At $620, it's not a huge amount of debt anyway. But, it's got like a Gen 3 style recoil spring. They got rid of the double capture. I didn't really notice the difference shooting it. Yeah. Oh, one other thing. The mag release is different. It's a little bigger, a little more rounded off in the front. And I don't know if that's just because of the geometry. Actually, I don't even know if it's different. I just know it's easier for me to reach. Like, I don't think I'm going to order one of those Glock Store extended aluminum mag releases for it. I have that on my 34s, but I don't think I'm going to need one on this because it's just easier to reach, or it's easier to get pressed. So, yeah. Highly recommend. I shot it. I sent Jeff the picture of my zeroing target. Not to brag, Jeff, but that's pretty fucking baller at 25 yards.
Yeah, but what about that little guy?
Well, don't worry about that little guy. That little guy was actually one of the first two shots I fired before I zeroed the optic. Like, I just slapped the optic on from my 34. And
I was hoping that was before you put the optic on.
No. That was... I never fired it before it had an optic. So, no, I put the optic on, and then I shot 2 rounds at it at 25 and realized I can't see bullet holes at 25 yards, so I'm going to bring it back and forth constantly. And, yeah, there was one out of the frame of that picture that was just below that. And then I was just walking them up, but Jeff will attest, the bullet holes are all pretty damn close to each other. And the last 3... are the 3 right around? They're all right around the paster. I brought it back. I was like, holy shit, that's cool.
Glock makes good barrels.
And when they're locked up tight, like I don't think I'll ever like after my 34 was shooting like shit, and then all of a sudden I put the factory guide rod in it, but I also tweaked a loading thing, and then I asked Vince. Stonebridge Gunworks, Vince. Hey, what do you think it was the load or the spring or both? He's like, maybe the load mattered, but I know the spring mattered. Because when they stay locked up longer with the factory weight spring, they're more accurate. The barrel's not wiggling around before the bullet leaves. So, yeah. But no, like every Gen 5 Glock I have shoots like this. Like they're all super accurate. So, yeah, it was. It's good. They're worth buying. I would get one if you have the means. Definitely buy one. Yeah, I like it. Jeff won't buy one, but
oh god, no, absolutely not.
But anyway, so there we go. On that note, patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. It's only $3.57 a month, and you get all of our second episode every single week. By the way, we had a great feature on the last episode, and we also had several people sign up for the Patreon. I think we teased them into joining. There were several that joined, and thank you all for doing so. But we did a bit last week that was called Making Fun of Internet Gun Nerds. Or Internet Carry Nerds, that's what it was. And holy crap, I've got more comments on that bit being a great idea than anything we've done in a long time. So,
right, and it was literally like, oh, hey, let's do this.
Yeah, like I just sort of like spit on an idea, like, oh, hey, why don't we just scroll CCW and make fun of shit? And
right,
that was the whole bit.
And the beauty is that it'll just keep happening over and over because
it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Right, RCCW. I mean, I just opened it, and the first thing that popped up was a shoulder-holstered 1911 with wood grips, and it's a good picture. But I'm sitting here going, "The fuck are you doing, old man?"
What's the title say?
Anyone else rocking a shoulder holster? And he had to get his watch in there because RCCW is just a flexing subreddit, and so. People will always do their pocket dumps, they call it, and they're like, "Here's my $4,000 knife and my $20,000 watch and my flask that's engraved with diamonds and da 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 and my Glock 19." And you're like,
"That looks like it's in perfect condition."
Oh yeah, never even been in the holster.
Yeah. No, and the holster's brand new. It's not dirty or linty or the logo is still visible on it.
Yep.
Anyway, so patreon.com/notanothershootingshow. It's only $3.57 a month. Caleb was one of those folks who joined this past week. Logan also joined. Thank you, guys. Let's see. What else? MW Activewear, the finest jerseys you can get for your match. I saw the Northwoods jerseys. Those look pretty dope.
Yep.
Very, very, very cool looking. That's the problem, Michelle. When you do some really good ones, like that, I still don't think she'll ever top Area 3 last year, but like once you've like hit that summit, like now you gotta maintain. But no, they're awesome. PSA Northwoods, I skipped over the match. May 2nd and 3rd. Registration's open for that. PCSL Belt Championship is May 17th at the Mission 160 range in Texas. Great Plains section is June 6-7.
I hate you.
Registration is now open. The Rushmore State Championship is going to happen July 11th and 12th. Registration opens February 1st for that one. A date was announced for Area 3, but it's Labor Day weekend. He still hasn't officially said it's in Grand Island, but it's in Grand Island, everybody. And Lane's got a class at Jeff's Gym in Omaha on January 24th. I'll be in Texas, unfortunately.
Boo this man.
Anyway, so there was that. There was the
unfun topic of the week.
Here's the unfun topic of the week. And here's the most unfun part about it. And it's not unfun, but like nobody agrees with me. Well, I shouldn't say nobody, but very few people think about it the way I do. The first thing, before we talk about the Minneapolis ice shooting, and why are we talking about it? It's not a fun topic. No, it's not a fun topic. But one of the things we do talk about in the show is use of deadly force, because we're concealed carriers, and this was a use of deadly force. That's why we're going to talk about it. As far as the politics of it, I give no fucks about any of it. Jeff does.
Hey, yeah.
And if I let him, he would go on and on about it. I give no shits about the politics. That's not how I approach this. And like when I see a video, I watch it objectively because I teach use of force in pistol permit classes here in South Dakota. And so whenever I see a video, a new one, then it's like, oh, okay. Like I'm interested. I watch it. And the first video that kind of went public with this was it was really hard to see what was going on. Because there's a guy, and then there's another guy, but he's sort of like kind of in front of the car. But then you hear pop, pop, pop. But it's like, is that one guy or is that two guys? Is that the guy who shot it or is it the other one? And then eventually we have the first person video, which, by the way, was not a body camera.
No, it was a cell phone.
It was a handheld cell phone. And he's sort of the only one who's right there around the woman who he shot. He's sort of walking around the car, like getting the license plate and blah, blah, blah. And people are yelling and whatever. And so he walks around the whole thing. And, well, first, let me just start off by saying, in my opinion, it's a bad shoot. It's not a good shoot. And like my gut reaction first time I saw it, I was like, ugh, that's not good. Now, the first video I saw was tough to see. It's like, if there's other videos, could change my mind. And then when I saw his first person video, it verified for me what I thought I saw in the first video. So now, before you go, I'm never listening to you ever again, Andy, you sumbitch. Okay, first off, remember, everybody, I don't give a fuck about the politics. I'm not talking about the politics about this at all. Do not care. Okay? Here's what I see and why I think it's a bad shoot. To boil it down, he created the jeopardy he used to justify shooting the woman. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, how did he create his own jeopardy? She tried to run him over with a car. Okay, that is one way of looking at that video. What I saw especially when I saw the first person video, because I didn't realize that was her car. Because when people like run videos through their apps and then upload them on their phone, like colors get fucked up. And like my memory of the color of the car was being sort of dark. It was like a dark maroon. But when I'm seeing his first person video for the first time, I didn't realize that was the car. I thought it was one of the other cars that was in the area. So when I see that car back up a little bit with the wheels cranked hard to the left, the driver's left, to like create space, I immediately, like my head said, oh, that person is backing up so that they can get around people and leave. And then it turns out the person holding the camera was the guy who shot her. Like, even the first time I saw it, it wasn't really evident because he's filming with a cell phone in one hand and a gun in the other. Okay?
Yep.
And so there's sign number one. Okay? Like, he was away from the car, then he walked towards a car that I thought pretty obviously was going to move forward. And he walked in front of it. Now, if he's... And this is immediately after the first person said, get out of the car, you're under arrest, or whatever. Okay? Like, from the first time someone said that to when she drove away was a very short period of time. Okay? As you're screaming at your phone or your earbuds or your car stereo, well, she should have just done that. Yes. Yes, she should have. Okay? But and I was arguing a lot with Tom Nelson about this from the Paracast. He disagrees with me vehemently. And he, like, one of the things he said, well, how's he supposed to affect the arrest? I said, I don't know, but not by standing in front of the fucking car.
He's not supposed to.
I don't care about that. If they were getting her out of the car, if they were about to arrest her, whatever, whether or not the arrest was justified is not something I'm interested in right now. I don't care about it. Okay? But the part of the video when he circled the entire car. He was to the left of the car when the other agent gets out and goes, get out of the car! Get out of the car! He wasn't even on that side of the fucking car.
Right.
Okay. Then he walks around the front. She backs and makes space between him and her. And then he walks forward into a car that is pretty obviously about to pull forward.
Right.
And for that, and also, by the way, he has moved the cell phone, which was in his right hand. He has switched it to his left hand and is now, before she's moving, reaching for his gun. At this point, when he's reaching for his gun, there is nothing happening that warrants a use of deadly force. Now, that doesn't mean he can't, like, have his hand on his gun ready to go or whatever. But he walks forward towards the bumper, and then she starts turning right, like the wheels are hard right before she starts moving, and then he walks in front of it. And for everyone going, but he ran her over the car. He had a cell phone in one hand, a gun in the other, managed to shoot her and fire 3 times, and never fucking fell down. Never lost his feet. Don't tell me he ran her over, okay? Now, I sound like I'm upset. I'm not. It's just like I'm used to like being in the back and forth. Like, I'm not angry about this at all. I don't know why I'm getting all crazy. I think because I'm expecting to get killed later is why. But anyway, so that's why I think it's a bad shoot. And like the guys on police posts are not exactly like saying, "Oh yeah, this is fine."
Yeah.
There's plenty of other people who are on the internet who are just like, "Yeah, this is not good. Not good."
Yeah. And
now, having said all that, do I think he'll get off? Yes.
Yeah, I don't think he'll even get investigated.
Oh, no, it'll get investigated. It has
right,
to.
But yes, the FBI who, anyways,
I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Hennepin County and the Attorney General of Minnesota. Just procedurally, legally.
Yeah, it'll be super interesting because they have said that the FBI is not cooperating with information. So that's why it will be a very interesting test of the foundation of America.
Yeah, it will be.
Which, I'm tired of testing the foundations of America all the time. But the other side to it, even so, when you in a use of force, the moment matters. So my initial watch of the video was because of how, I'm watching on my phone, so I don't have the biggest screen. And, the first video was like 25 yards away at a weird angle. Anyways, I was like, oh, that first shot, you can argue that one we can argue about. That one's 50-50. It's the following two that you're like, nope. And
see, and those two are the ones where I don't even. Those are the ones where that happens all the time. Where like there's subsequent shots.
Yes.
Once the shooting has started, it tends to follow. And research from the Force Science Institute has shown time and time again that once your brain has said, okay, start shooting, and then when your eyeballs and your brain recognize you can stop shooting, it can take 3 seconds or more from that moment before they stop shooting. Just because of the adrenaline dump and the cortisol and all that shit going on in the body and the brain at that, incredibly intense survival moment. So,
right.
Like, those follow-up shots, I mean, there's a video I show in my class that looks fucking terrible. It's kind of the same thing. But they're spaced out even more than those.
Right.
But anyway, sorry.
And so to me, those ones look terrible. And then subsequent videos, this kind of goes back to our conversation around the active self-protection road rage use of force that the guy ended up going to jail for 10 years. And it wasn't necessarily because of the shoot. It was information and like things that happened around it. And so
are you talking about when he goes, fucking bitch?
That one doesn't help. It really doesn't help. That also someone in the crowd was like, I am a doctor. I need to go check that woman. And ICE officers were like, nope, we're good. And they're like, no, like I need it. And they're like, no, no one helps her. And you're like, okay, like that you're not making yourselves look like the good guys here. So all of this will be used if there is a trial, if there is an actual like accountability to it, those will not look good because you know they are secondary things in the shooting. But yeah, no, it looks really bad. There's a lot of passions on both sides. I find some of it fascinating. Your former governor has been fascinating to listen to.
Yeah, she's really good at shoving her foot in her Botox injected lips.
Right. Like 40, I think it was like 48 minutes after the event.
Yeah.
She had already was like, this is what happened. And then we watched the video and we're like,
did not exactly say what happened.
Yeah.
Or what she said happened.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing though, if there's, an officer who's about to be run over by someone with a car, there's a roadblock and someone's coming and flying, like, okay, would they be justified in shooting?
So that one's a super interesting one. I don't think so. Or it's outside of their SOP. So they're not supposed to shoot into vehicles in an attempt to stop people.
Well, some that varies by department. That isn't necessarily
that's ICE's SOP. Sorry.
But I'm just talking about, does it meet the Graham factors and objective reasonableness? Well, yeah. I mean, it's deadly force. Like running someone over the car is deadly force. Yes, it is. Yep. I realize what I'm saying is sort of hypocritical or may sound hypocritical to what I'm talking about, but like the specific facts in every single thing matter. Okay? A speeding car running towards officers is very different than a car that is literally stopped and is just starting to move. Okay?
Right.
I don't think a car that you can easily back away from and is going from 0 to 5 is an imminent threat of serious bodily injury or death in the same way. It's just not.
Yep.
Now, another thing, though, too, like part of, the legal doctrine that is taught about this, like the objective reasonableness test, okay, which is the totality of the circumstances. Everything that happened leading up to it does matter. It is not just the moment, like the moment the force was applied matters, but it is also the entire totality of the circumstances. Okay.
Right.
Now, because, let me finish the first thought. So you cannot use 20/20 hindsight to justify what someone does.
Right.
Okay. Or to vilify what they do. If a cop gets a gun pulled on him in the dark and they shoot the guy and it turns out it's a toy gun, well, in the dark, it sure looked like a fucking pistol. Like, you can't say, well, it wasn't a pistol.
Right.
Or that guy was a serial rapist and murderer. Yeah, but you didn't know that at the time.
Right.
Okay.
We saw that a lot with the Rittenhouse thing. Is people were like, "Oh man, those guys are felons."
But they're
like,
pedophiles.
He doesn't.
That didn't matter in the moment.
Right.
Time.
Right. That's. It's interesting information that has nothing to do with the conversation.
Right. So like that 20/20 hindsight can't not apply to it. Okay. So, that agent at that moment who had previously been run over by a car. Okay. That may have got him a little quicker on the gun. Okay. Or he's a slow learner and keeps walking in front of fucking cars. I can look at that either way. But the severity of the crime she was doing, and yes, she's about to resist and flee, okay? If they could use force to effect her arrest at that point, would that be justified? Yes. Was using deadly force to stop her from driving away justified? No.
it's literally what Grams versus Connor's about. I found that out because Tennessee
Tennessee Garner is like a murderer who's murdered and is likely to murder while they're fleeing. Like, yeah, then you can shoot that guy.
Right. Well, so I might be getting them mixed up, but one of them,
Graham v. Connor is just use of force. Yeah,
because one of them was about fleeing suspects is because I believe it was Tennessee had a law that you could like shoot someone for fleeing, and the Supreme Court was like, yeah, no, you can't do that. Now,
not just for fleeing.
Right, not just for fleeing.
Right.
That's what established the reasonable, like, hey, he shot at us. He was running into a business full of people. We were worried that he was going to create a hostage situation or like shoot someone there. So we shot him before he got there.
Yeah. Interestingly, Tennessee v. Garner was a year before Graham v. Connor.
Oh.
And like the Graham factors, have you ever heard of those?
No.
Okay, so it's basically like, is the use of force justifiable? And these are the factors involved. What was the severity of the crime that the officer believed the suspect to have committed or be committing? Okay. Did the suspect present an immediate threat to the safety of officers or the public? And was the suspect actively resisting arrest or attempting to escape? Now, these three things, if you answer yes to these, it doesn't mean you can start shooting them. That's not what this is. It's just what level of force does this arise to?
Right.
Okay. If they're actively resisting or attempting to escape, you can use force. Does it justify deadly force? Well, that depends. Are they reaching for the officer's pistol in attempting to escape? Well, then, yeah. If they're trying to pull a pistol, But if they're just trying to get away and have no weapon in their hand, like, no. Then you can't use deadly force. And, like, I don't know, to kind of put a bow on this, the main reason why I think is a bad shoot was he did not have to.
Right.
And he created the jeopardy he is going to be using to justify the shoot. It's going to be politicized forever. And it is what it is. So,
yeah.
Anyway, don't hate me. I don't hate anybody who disagrees with me about this. I just think differently about it. That's all. So,
there was a funny video about ICE and a gun going off that popped up in my feed.
Oh, yeah.
These two officers, one's got his rifle slung on it in front of him, and they hit a patch of ice and slipped. And when the guy fell to the ground, because ARs have a free-floated
free-floating firing pin.
It hit the round and went off. And it doesn't appear that anyone was hurt. It looks like the round went directly into the snowbank or whatever, but it was just one of those, oh shit, never thought about that.
For an AR to slam fire, because like my M1, I was like chambering rounds, just kind of practicing loading it. And then I saw the primers after that, like, oh shit, I'm not doing that anymore. Fuck. Like, that free floating firing pin like hammers that primer. An AR, it'll put a little dimple in it, but the firing pin's really light. And for an AR to slam fire, that primer's really got to be seated out, like beyond flush. It doesn't really happen. This is me completely speculating. I think his safety was off and he had some bougie light trigger on his duty rifle. And when he felt, because his hand's nowhere near the trigger. Like, he didn't pull the trigger.
His hands go flying. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, both hands are flying because he's going ass over tea kettle. And when the rifle hits the ground or his fat or whatever it was, something caused it to go off. So, because I was so confused because there's no audio. I'm like, oh, there's no sound. Okay, what is Jeff sending me? Oh, that's muzzle flash. Oh, that's from the rifle. Like, I had to watch it like 7 times before I understood what I was looking at because the video is grainy and small and hard to see. But yeah, it was pretty interesting. But okay. There was also a guy who posted a video. Here's what no one else is talking about. And there's like a giant dinosaur on that block.
Oh, yeah.
And some other goofy thing in the yard.
Yeah, there's
nearby.
It's a shark and
a dinosaur.
Yeah, it's a shark and a T-Rex. And so people I saw that people be like, "Oh, this looks like AI," and people had to be like, "No, legitimately,
It
there's
was
like
there.
yeah, it's like an artist or something, and or someone who thought it would be funny to have a I'm not going to say life size, but it is not like it's not like a garden gnome. It is like
the T-Rex is bigger than a fucking car.
Yeah, it's
like,
gigantic.
It might be life size. Like
yeah.
T-Rexes aren't as gigantic as you think they are from Jurassic Park, but like I don't know. I'm looking at a video of it right now from Instagram. It looks like it's probably pretty damn close to life size.
Yeah,
and so's the great white.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember when that first popped up a couple times. I'm like, wait a second, like what the fuck? Because there's one of the screen grabs that shows like one of the shots or something. Like the best picture of it was this fucking dinosaur. And people were like, this is fucking AI, which is like
it wasn't.
Which is kind of funny. Is that not to dive into the politics of it, but I think it was Trump or someone in the administration shared like what looked like drone footage that turned out to be completely AI generated. So we're now in that era as well. Is you're told that what you saw isn't real, and then you're also bombarded with things that might not be real because AI has gotten so good. So
I sent my son a video the other day. I thought it was awesome. He's like, "Dad, that's AI." I'm like, "God damn it!"
Yeah,
I hate that I'm getting duped.
Well, and it's hard because so the first thing you got to do is be like, hey, does this appeal to my biases? Like, start there. B, is it overly like? Is it really well filmed? Like that's another great point to look out for is if it's like a really good filming, because you're like, why did the camera guy have his camera going before the event started? Like why do I see all the things? Because there's a channel that basically makes AI videos of store owners like cussing out ICE, and the biggest giveaway that it's fake is that the ICE officers, their uniforms just say ICE. But if you aren't a fucking nerd that knows that they don't put ICE on their uniforms, you're like, oh man. And like the first time I saw it, I was like, hell yeah. And then I was like, wait a second, this doesn't feel real.
Yeah.
So you gotta watch out for it.
Anyway, I don't.
What's your meth dealer thing?
Oh, that was the thing I meant to talk about was. Because another thing, well, if she just wouldn't have done it, well, of course. Like, if she had not gone down there and fucked around, yeah. But, like, it's not just as simple as, well, fuck around and find out. Okay. You all hated it when Ashley Babbitt got killed at the Capitol. Okay. That was bullshit, but this is fine? You know? I mean...
Yeah, the double standards have been interesting. But I've seen a few people try to make like Charlie Kirk references, and I'm like, wait, what?
One has nothing to do with the other.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. And there have also been a number of situations where the person was just there. Like, I mean, one woman, they accused her of like ramming into them, and then when you saw the video, it was ICE making an illegal U-turn, and she like T-boned them, and it turns out she was a nurse trying to go to work, and they were just like, this person blah 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 blah, and so
anyway, okay, well,
so while you were ranting, I killed an SRO.
What?
Yeah, so because we were talking about MMPs and fucking with them, and so I my replaced carry gun, because now I carry iron sighted 10 millimeter. So I was like, it's dark in my apartment, and my SRO was turned up bright, and so I hit the negative button, and now it won't turn back on. So I'm currently working on getting the battery cap undone, but
it's too bad you don't have a Stonebridge Gunworks SRO battery cap remover tool.
I do, but the teeth keep breaking off. I mean, I think this is like a first gen, but
I guess I haven't had that problem at all.
Yeah, no,
it works fine for me.
Oh yeah, no, legitimately one of the teams.
You don't
has-
know how to use tools, though. Jesus.
This is completely fair. I am the most mechanically retarded person on the planet, and I have no shame in admitting that.
Oh God, that's funny. All right. Well, I was also messaging with Tom Nelson from the Paracast this week over a completely different issue because he had been talking about he pulled out one of his Berettas and he started shooting it. He's kind of a Beretta nerd, and I have a Beretta, and I've been kind of going back and forth with whether I'm going to shoot my Beretta in production while I'm having a side quest or if I'm going to shoot my Glock 34 that I just took the SRO off of. And the thing that was always hard with the Beretta was like I had to really work to make sure ammo made power factor. The first thing I found out is you have got to crimp the shit out of it. Like it's got to be well crimped. I can throw any old shitty crimp at a Glock and it goes off about the same velocity.
Yeah,
The powder will dictate the velocity.
Yeah, I've always crimped mine heavy for for SROs for Shadow 2s just because they have nice thin throats or small throats.
That's what she said.
Exactly. That's what you hope she said.
Well, the part of it too, though, is a Beretta has a falling locking block, and it unlocks really quick.
Yeah,
and so it goes back just a little ways. It'll go back about I don't know a centimeter or so, and then before the spring is really providing resistance and it's interacting with hammer and whatnot, and in going back and forth, he's like, I mean, I knew the load I was shooting that was only averaging like 967, 115 grain bullet, 967 out of a damn near 5-inch barrel. Like, really? I knew the load was fucked up. So I shot some Blazer 115, and those were just, well, let me pull up my phone so I don't get this wrong. Because I shot them over the chronograph, and they did not make power factor.
Oh.
Let's see here. Blazer 115. They were very close though. 124.9 was the average. Now, they make it all day long out of my CZs, Glocks, whatever. Okay. And then I had my shitty reloads. Those are averaging right around 1,001 feet per second. Power factor 115.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. By the way, I love the Garmin Chrono app. It does the power factor for you. Now we get to the first cartridge that actually got me to power factor. These are some of my leftover 135 grain blue bullet loads from this past year. It was 128.5 with a 135 grain bullet. The speed was only 951.
Jesus.
Average. Yeah. Now we get to the first thing that reliably. Oh, and then I also shot 125 grain blue bullets. I found a box of those randomly, which I hadn't shot in over a year. Those were about the same velocity. The power factor was just way worse. That was, it was 119 power factor. It was actually a little higher. But then the only thing I shot through it that reliably made power factor through the Beretta was Hornady Critical Defense 115 grain at 128.9. Average speed of 1150.
Wow.
So, but then after I collected all this data, I messaged Tom and I was like, so looks like it just like spicy loads. He's like, well, Berettas are literally, they're made for NATO ammo. That's what they were designed for. So a 124 to 1150 is what's going to make it go. So anyway, that's why I'm probably leaning towards shooting the 34. But I think I'll put sights on it before I do.
Aw. You beat Austin without sights.
Oh, I know. That'd be fun. I don't think I would beat Austin without sights. He made master. Let's give him a little tiny bit of credit.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
We'll give him the ounce of credit that you made master in a dead
He hasn't been a
division,
master for any time. Let the record reflect. It's fucking Tuesday.
Yeah. So, congrats, Austin. You made master like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, that makes you equivalent to us. What's the Star Wars line? Like, you may be a master, or well, it's the opposite. That you may be on this council, but we're not making you a master. Yeah. It's the opposite. You may be a master, but you're not on this council.
So the SRO I put on my 17 was from my 34, and there was a video. It was like the active self-protection, I don't know, extra or whatever. It was some other dude who I guess lives in South Dakota here. He went out. The video was using your sights wins gunfights or something like that. So
yeah, if you don't have an index, bitch.
Well, yeah, exactly. Sights win gunfights was the title of the video. It's the ASP Extra channel. So his point is, well, if you point shoot, like he goes up and he shoots it looks like a IPSC or not IPSC, a USPSA or an IDPA target, but it's on paper, so it's hard to see. But he shoots it and he's just point shooting, not using his sights. And he's got bullets all over the cardboard. He's at like, I don't know, 5 yards maybe. It's pretty close. And then he shoots with a dot on the pistol, and then he, puts them all in the A zone. Like, well, fucking duh. But
yeah,
it was just funny to me that his target was so bad at 5 yards. And it popped into my head like, this will be fun. There were like factory Glock. I never bothered taking the factory sights off my Glock. I just left them on. And so I took those off, and then after I took the SRO off, so I had no sights on my 34. If you saw my Instagram, which is andy.e.605, you'll have to type that in exactly because I'm shadow banned. I shot 16 rounds of doubles with no slide. And then, Jeff, explain what the target looks like when it gets reeled in.
Because you were at
25 feet.
25 feet. It looked like a shotgun blast, but like with a really good choke on it. And so it was solid. Like it was what, like 60% A's with.
Oh no, I think it was more than that. I just pulled it up here. Oh damn it! Come on, Instagram. The fast forward on Instagram doesn't work real great. So I have, out of 18 rounds, I have 4 Charlies. One of which was almost a Delta.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 of them were almost Deltas. But the rest of them are all Alphas on a USPSA target, and 2 of them are close Charlies.
So you're kind of okay at this.
At like 8 1/3 yards. And yeah, there was a guy on Facebook because my Instagram cross-post to my old radio personality Facebook page, and there's a guy who wrote this really long diatribe about the difference between, well, that's not actually point shooting. Point shooting's without seeing the gun. I just thought point shooting was shooting without, like, aiming.
Right?
Like, not aiming at all.
Yeah, I've always struggled with the concept of point shooting because I'm like, it's so easy to fucking index, put gun in face, like you're good to go. Like,
yeah, especially when you're close.
Yeah.
The thing that's funny though is there's literally police quals where you, like the South Dakota State Police qual, which is really easy. One of the things, and I'm sure this is true of lots of other states, is you have to shoot from the hip at 3 yards. Well, if that's not point shooting, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
But no, it was kind of a fun little parlor trick to do, but it wasn't even really a parlor trick. It's just like the result of, like, that's my level of training in the off season.
Right.
At 25 feet, they're all on there.
Yeah. We don't, sorry to sound really fucking arrogant, but we forget how much we have trained and how good we are at this because we hold ourselves to such a high standard. I always
because everybody else we're shooting with is good.
right, exactly. It's like we only hang out with like B class and above shooters, and so we are like.
That's not what I meant, you asshole. Like, I only hang out with B class and above. No, I'm talking about
I don't shoot with any C-class shooters right now. But what I'm saying is the challenges that we put ourselves under are kind of unreasonable, and we don't realize it because all of us are being unreasonable to ourselves. Because the best example I have is Lane's dot died one day, and so he annoyed pointed at a mini steel at 20 yards and bing, 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 and you're like, he goes, you want to try? I was like, sure. So shooting a P10F that I've never shot before, I was just like, oh, ding, ding, ding. Oh, this isn't as hard as I thought it would be.
Dang. How?
Yeah.
20 yards?
Yeah.
On a mini?
Yep.
Damn.
Yep. We were on bay 7 on the top.
Bay 7, is that the wide bay?
Yeah. The wide
is that
one
the really
up top.
wide one or the really deep one?
The wide one. You were in the deep one.
Oh, okay.
That
That
was
was the
basic.
tuna can.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, Jeff, you said on here you typed in you found the answer to the SADS.
I did. It's buying armor. And not any of your like modern, I dress like a Marine, blah, blah. I'm talking chainmail.
Oh,
Yes. Oh, yes. No. I'm going to this like medieval reenactment thing in February, and I'm super excited about it. And I had to buy all this stuff because you have to dress up, in full armor and shit. And I got it yesterday, and I sent a Snapchat to Owen, and he was like, the joy in your face says that you've overcome the SADS. And I'm like, this is the most fun I've had in a long time.
I mean,
and I was,
go ahead.
it's like 47 pounds of shit.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. Cause
Wait a minute. You found armor that fit you?
right. I was the most shocked about it. Like I found a company, they're a bigger company so they can make things a little cheaper.
I was about to ask, where'd you go? Like the medieval armor store?
What is it called? Yeah, it's oh shit, what is it? But yeah, there is an online store for it's for LARPing. Like I'm not gonna live
Right.
action role play. Like that's what it is. There's no fireballs. But yeah, they had armor up to 3X, and I was like, okay. And I actually bought a measuring tape so that I could see, because they have like the measurements, and it fits. It weighs like 40 pounds, but it fits. The only part that doesn't fit is the skull cap, but so I need to get a skull cap. But yeah, it made me so happy to put armor on and wear it around. Like I just walked around my apartment a little bit, and like not outside of my apartment, but like in my apartment, and it was super comfy. It still has all the like oils and greases to keep it from rusting. But it's awesome. I love it. It made me so happy.
Nice. So you'll just like go to medieval festivals and shit with it, and
Yeah. So like I'm always
you'll
going
be
to be
scary in that.
exactly. So
Like you need a helmet that completely covers your face.
I have the nasal helm, so it's like a bucket, and then there's just like one like metal bar
it's like
that
the
comes.
metal over your nose.
Yep.
That's like the guy in Robin Hood where he got hit in the face by something, and his nasal helm is pointing sideways.
Yes.
Like later in the movie.
Exactly. No, I 100% support getting a full suit of armor. It will. I may price it out. It may be $4,000 to $6,000, but it's either get an open gun or a full suit of armor. And at this point, full suit of armor.
Wow. That's quite the purchase. Damn. Buying stuff that is fun though it always makes you smile. Now, here's a question. Did you have any like buyer's remorse after buying it?
No.
None?
I mean, it always sucks when you're spending like hundreds of dollars on things that you're like, I have like one dedicated use for this, but when I put it on, I was like, this is awesome. I'm happy. I bought a shirt and pants to go with it. I'm not super happy about those ones. They didn't come out like I wanted, so I might have to buy different ones. But other than that, like I have a suit of armor that I'm not going to say that it would stop like all modern like bladed weapons, but I'm going to say that if I was going to a situation and I knew there was a chance of violence and I knew that wearing it wasn't going to escalate the situation, I would wear it.
Hey,
because
in the zombie apocalypse, that'll be really useful.
exactly. And so it is LARPing gear. It is, but at 40 pounds, it is real steel. Like, I don't know that it's the most hardened high level steel on the planet, but it's real steel, so you're gonna have to swing pretty fucking hard to get a blade.
Did you get it
through
from Dark Knight Armory?
No,
Because they spell armory with a U. That's how you know it's for like medieval shit. It's not a gun store.
because they British.
British.
Epic Armory. Yep.
Oh, Epic Armory.
Yep.
You know what my favorite thing on Instagram is right now? Jimmy Carr reels.
Oh, Jimmy Carr's. I love him.
He is fucking hilarious. Oh my god.
If you want to watch, like, his best bit ever was he got caught up in a tax evasion scandal, and he ran a show called 8 out of 10 Cats, and it was basically like a weekly what's happening in the world show. And so he basically started out, he goes, yeah, you know, all these things are happening. And he's like, oh, I wonder what we're going to talk about. It's probably going to be me. And so it was just 6 comedians roasting him for like 20 minutes. It's fantastic.
He's awesome. God, I laugh so hard at his. I would love to see him live if he's never in the States. Like, nothing in the States is on his tour itinerary, but because I looked the other day. But wait, did you get a sword?
I got an axe. The axe is.
You're more of an axe guy, yeah.
Yeah, so they don't want real weapons, so like they're just foam with like a fiberglass core. Because
so like these swords I saw that are only like $100, they're foam.
yes,
Oh,
I mean so they might be real. There are, but they'll be like wall hanger swords. Like they won't be, going to war swords.
lame. Well, all right, fine. It is what it is. But I wish they were real swords. Anyway, I think we've done enough damage today.
Yep.
I probably pissed some people off. Like, I still love you all. Like, if you disagree with me, that's okay. I'm okay with you disagreeing with me. Like, I don't dislike anyone who disagrees with me. I just think it was a bad shoot. That's all. So, and the Gen 6 Glock is fucking awesome. I really like it. I'm as happy with that purchase as any other I've made in a while.
Here's what we're going to finish with. Is it great for a Glock or is it great as a gun?
I've shot Glocks more than anything. I still swear up and down I'm not a Glock fanboy. I happen to own more Glocks than anything else, but part of that is because they're the highest quality pistol in that category or price range, if that makes sense. I don't own a lot of $1,000 guns. I own quite a few $400 to $600 guns. And so, I mean, in terms of like I said earlier, and it was Mike's line, don't go into debt to get one. It's not, if you already have a Gen 5 something or other, like, it's not worth replacing. Like, this is not the new 17 is not the Gen 547 killer. But it's real good, and they made all the correct improvements. I would have lowered the optic mount a little. I forgot to mention the undercut of the trigger guard. A lot of people think that's such a big deal, and like I did not even notice. It is undercut, and like it's good. Like, yeah, you can get a little higher up on the frame, but just like the trigger, I didn't notice while I was shooting it. But the texture and the palm swell, I noticed for sure. So, and the little thumb rests are okay too. But yeah, is it the greatest pistol ever made? No, it's not. it still has a crunchy peanut butter trigger, just like all Glocks do. But it shoots good. It does what I needed to do. I'm happy with it. I'm glad I was able to get one. I thought it was funny. They were still like counting down until the Gen 6 went on sale. Like everybody and their dog's starting to buy them. Like Shields is selling them like days before the official release. It's like, you guys suck at like Glock should never release an album. Like Taylor Swift shit. Like, yeah, it may be at the Target for 2 days before, but nobody's opening that pallet until it's time.
Right.
Like there's signs all over. Do not put out until blah, blah, blah. But anyway, on that note, thank you so much for listening. He is Jeff King. I'm Andy Erickson, and this is Not Another Shooting Show.